Welcome to Space Draft. Today I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to be able to make your own space draft and walk you through everything else to help you get started. Let's begin by heading over to spacedraft.com. From here you can log in if you have an account already. If not, click Get Started for free and you can make your brand new account. Once you're logged in, you'll be taken to the My Projects page. So let's make a brand new project by clicking Create Project. We're going to start off by selecting the setting or the space that the space draft will take place in. So for this example, let's do something kind of basic and straightforward. Let's do something like getting directions to a specific location. So let's have a look through all the different categories here and select the one that's right for us. So depending on which category you select, you'll be shown different kind of backgrounds or images that best fit the specific project or category that you want. So since we're doing something that's a little sort of transportation related, let's do the transportation category. And now we can see here a bunch of related transport images and backgrounds and things that'll help us with our project. So now we can browse through the Space Draft library and see some of the example backgrounds that are available. But if that doesn't work, we can click on the Maps option and we can have a real map view of a real life location. And we can even change some of the visual looks of this map as well. But if we don't really want any of that, maybe we could just do a blank background by clicking on the blank setting. But maybe none of these are really doing it for you and you want your own kind of customization. So you can actually upload your own images by clicking on the Upload button. And once we're happy, we'll move on to the next step. So here we can set up our time. So it can be in steps, or it could be in a 12 or 24-hour clock. Could be in minutes, hours, seconds, or you could even just have your own custom time settings. So for this example, let's do steps. And now that we're happy, we're going to click Apply. So now let's bring our scene to life. Click on the Add Pin button at the very top here to open up the pin library. Here you can drag and drop in images to help populate your scene. So we call these little images pins. And there's thousands of different pins in the pin library that you can choose from. So let's search up a car to bring our scene to life. If you see multiple different pins that you like, you can click on them all and just simply drag them into the space, or just press this button below and they'll all be added into the scene at once. Now that we have these pins in the scene, we can click on it to edit it in a few different ways. So let's do exactly that. We'll click on it and then we'll go Add Movement and then we'll select Add Path. So now we can draw out where we want the pin to travel to. So with that done, let's open up the timeline. Now inside the timeline, we can see this gray box here. Now this gray box represents the path that we just created, as you can see when I play it through. So let's make another path. This time, however, we'll use the Draw Path button to draw a curvy line path. Now, as you can see, the box appeared in the timeline in relation to where we were in time. Now you can also hide pins in the timeline by clicking on the pin, selecting the ellipsis button, and then selecting Hide. Now when it plays through, the pin will be hidden. Now if we want to shorten anything, we can do so by clicking and dragging the edges of these boxes down here in the timeline. So you can also click on the sound button to add in music or maybe to record a voiceover for your project. You can record directly from Space Draft, or you can add in your own music and audio. So here's an example of that right now. So let's just reset everything so that I can make this as simple as possible. Let's delete all these pins here by right-clicking on them and saying Delete Pin or Show Pin for the hidden pin there. Now let's click on these, click the ellipsis and go Remove from Scene. So we've only got one pin that we have to worry about here. It's gonna be a little recap for you guys. Now we'll click on the pin after we've moved it over here, click Add Path, and move it all the way to the other side there. There we go. So it's shown up in the timeline. Let's just move it back to the start and we're good to go. So with that done, let's open up the script panel on the right hand side. Here we can add in a description of what's happening within the space, or maybe we could write a story. Whatever works best for your personal project, you know? So you can add in text styles to the text if you want, just to spice it up a bit, make it look pretty. And if you want to tie the text directly to what's happening within the space, you could introduce time codes. So by clicking on the Set Time Code button, you can do so. Clicking the time code will then take you to that specific place within the timeline. And as you play through your scene, the script will jump to this point to bring it into focus. If you also want to introduce additional imagery or videos, you can directly upload images and videos to the script. Or you could paste a video link and then that'll appear in the script as well. Additionally, if you want to highlight specific pins that you've used, if you type hashtag into the script and then select your desired pin, you'll create a tagged pin. And then when you click on this tagged pin, it'll highlight that specific pin within the pin map. So if you want to create multiple different scenes in your project, you can do so by clicking in the top left-hand corner right here and then selecting Add New Scene. Then you can just kind of repeat the process and create a project with multiple different scenes. Maybe these could feature different locations, different ideas, different worlds. It's totally up to you. This master layout can be viewed as a list, or instead it could be viewed as a sort of visual diagram that you yourself can edit. So you can personalize it to best fit your project. There's a lot of different creative possibilities there, that's for sure. So that's it for the sort of basics of Spacedraft. But if we want to collaborate on our scene with someone else and work on it together, well, we can do so. Simply click on the Collaborate button up the top here, and then enter in their email address. And so whoever's email address you put in, they'll be able to edit and help create that Spacedraft project with you. So when your project is all finished and completed, click the Send button at the top here, and you'll be able to create a link that allows people to view your Spacedraft. Or you could share it with others through an email, maybe share it through a QR code, or even an embedded link. So this export that they'll be receiving is a completed version that showcases your project from the specific time that you made that link or you made that QR code whenever you're pressing this save button here. Now this can't be edited by anyone who sees it. They're just going to see a visual representation of it. So that's all the basics of Spacedraft. If you have any more questions, head on over to our website, go to the knowledge base, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that may very well answer some of your questions there. Thanks for listening, guys, and have fun making your own Spacedrafts.